Hey everybody, Phil Garner here with Garner's Garden. So how do you start a business and maintain it over the years? So my company, we've been in business since, well, the LLC started in 2013. But before that, I had to ramp up to that. I was working day and night, but in order to have a successful business, you have to give your all. You have to do everything that you don't want to do in order for this to be successful. This will be the hardest transition in life if you are a business owner. If you want to be a full-time entrepreneur, because you have to think about it. At your current job, you have a marketing company, you have a HR company, HR division, you have all of these specific groups of people that all come together, operations, logistics, everything that comes together, and there's a head of every single department, and then decisions are made by somebody above that. So as an entrepreneur, when you're first getting started, you're wearing every single hat. You don't have the money, you don't have the time, you don't have the bandwidth in order to give that job of posting on social media to somebody else. You don't have the money when you're first starting off to have that luxury of not posting yourself every single day. When I'm talking about yourself, I'm just not talking about a product or the service. I am talking about you. You as a person have to sell your company. You're the only person in the beginning that can sell your company. Unless you have millions and millions of dollars, hundreds of thousands of dollars, tens of thousands of dollars to give it to somebody who has some sort of influence to make you just go from zero to hero, but there's a caveat to that. But from zero to hero overnight, that's not going to happen. That happens to less than 1% of the companies that have been in business for more than 3 years, right? So how do you go from zero to at least 50? Right? You do it by putting in the work every single night for having people to know you, who you are as a business owner, who you are relates to them. So they have to know you. They're not technically, they could buy, for me, they could buy shea butter from anywhere. They can buy mouthwash from anywhere. But do they want to support something or somebody? So they're supporting, number one, a natural cause. They're supporting two, buy black, have your money circulate. And then number three, they're supporting the overall owner, right? The owner trumps all of that. Because if I don't like that person, or if I don't really vibe with that person, if I don't have that connection with that person who owns the company, then I'm not going to really spend my money there because I can buy that product from somewhere else on the internet. So the days of just thinking that we can give our money to an influencer and have your company go woo overnight, number one, you're not going to be ready for that impact of having 1,000 orders come in that night. You're going to fail that way. It's not that you're going to fail because you don't have people buying from you. What happens when you have $100,000 come in that night? In orders. So let's just keep it simple. $1,000 of orders come in that night. You just started your business. 6 months down the road, you're averaging maybe 2 orders a week, and you're like, I want this to speed up. I want more orders. I want more orders. How do I get more orders? Well, number one, you put yourself in that position because you want the 2 orders so that you can learn how to manage those 2 orders so that you can get 4 orders, so you can get 6 orders. I used to tell my mom was like, what's the end game for you? Well, I told her, well, one day I want to quit my job because I was doing things in the job arena that I did not like. It just didn't vibe with me. And I have some traumatic experiences that I just needed to get out of that situation and be able to work in my house by myself. Anyway, so I put in that work. And my mom said, what do you want to get out of this? I said, I want to not work for myself. She said, what do you need to not do this? And I said, I need at least 10 orders per day. That was my goal, 10 orders per day, because I did the calculation. The average order value is $40, $30 to $40. All I need is 10 orders. That's $400 a day. All I got to do is go downstairs, make the products, put them in the thing, and ship it. That's $400. So that would help me keep the business. Also, I could pay myself and I could work from home. So number one, set a goal to what you need just to kind of break free from the everyday job, okay? And number two, how do you sustain the longevity that a business needs, because every single day of you being on social media, I used to post 4 times a day on my own. I had to learn Photoshop. I had to learn Canva. I had to learn all these different things. I had to learn photography. I had to take pictures. I had to wear all those hats in order so that I can make posts. Then I had to make sure that I was comfortable in front of the camera. God put me in a position at my previous job to talk in front of people. I learned how to talk in front of people. I wasn't scared to talk in front of people. I used to be, but not anymore. God put me in that role. I didn't like it. I didn't want to be in it, but he put me in that role in order so that I can now reach the people that he wants me to reach, because he wants me to heal the world. And the only way I can heal the world is to give people information about the products so that they can make a decision whether or not they want to do something for themselves to live naturally or not. So overall, the key points, this is just off the hip. I don't have anything written down. It's just the key points to running your own business, starting your own business, is to work at it every single day from when you get home from work until you go to sleep. You don't have time to go to a party. You don't have time to go to brunch. You don't have time to do any of that unless that's your business. But most of the cases it's not. You don't have time to be part of the world. You die on the inside and you become what God wants you to be, right? That is your purpose. I've had several different businesses. And technically the first business that I had was when I was a teenager. I had a landscape company. I would go around and mow lawns of my neighborhood until I got to the point where I could hire some of my friends to mow the lawns too. And that was my first business. I used to flip cars when I was 16. I bought my first car, put some rims on it, put a stereo in it, boom. Out the door, I made $2,000 on it. Now I could buy an Acura Vigor. I could buy a Honda Accord V6 Coupe. I could buy this, I could buy that. So I did that as a business. Then I went into college. I used to sell, in high school I used to sell vinyl siding and windows. I used to knock on people's doors. I used to have a pitch. So my point is that owning a business is not just owning a business. You need something to know how to do sales. Is your background in sales? Do you know how to sell a product? Do you know how to pitch a product? Do you know how to do the marketing efforts behind that? Then I went to college and guess what I studied? Business management with a minor in marketing. Oh, and then I went into the military. I got leadership skills. I got managerial skills as an officer in the Army. Oh, by the way, after the military, then I started talking in front of people. I was in front of hundreds of people every other week talking on how to, giving courses, writing courses, doing doctrine, understanding those types of things. All these building blocks leading up to me working as a full-time entrepreneur. I had to take all of those skills. And by the way, then I got my MBA, which took me to a higher level of understanding of accounting, understanding of statistics, understanding of all the different things that a person needs in order to run a business. It's not just like, I'm going to start a business. Yes, you could do that. However, you need to study on your own, okay, the marketing principles, the economics principles, all these different types of things so that you can have a baseline understanding of what it takes in order to run your business as not just a mom and pop at a lemonade stand, but what about a Fortune 500 company that you want to build it into? How do you structure it in hierarchically with all these different peoples and all these different levels working for you? How do you manage all these people? How do you take a step back? When is it time for you to take a step back and hire somebody? When is it time for you to think how much money is coming in versus how much money I'm making at work? When is it time for you to quit your job? All of these different things come with wisdom, and wisdom comes with time. So when I hear kids, oh, I don't need to go to college. I'm 18 and I could just start a business. And most successful people, they dropped out of college. Well, okay, that's great. That's on them. But for you, you need your understanding of how to live in the world first. Get that worldly experience while you're at college. That's the purpose of going to college. It's not learning, it's learning how to be an adult, learning how to live on your own, getting those connections in college, networking, building lifelong relationships so that somebody could call me in 2013. Chach McBride called me and he said, Phil, I got somebody you need to meet. She's doing big things on Instagram. That was the time when I was really struggling because, again, I started in 2013. The LLC formed in 2013. 2014, I tried to transition online. 2014, it was the hardest thing I've ever done. And one of my friends, one of my fam brothers from Virginia State, he called me and said, you need to meet somebody. He introduced me to somebody, Bree. And Bree was like, yeah, I can help you, Phil. Yeah, your products are bomb. Send me some. And I sent her some. Yeah, these are great. All right, this is what you do. And I gave her access, and she helped me. She helped me. Being at the right place at the right time is all about doing the things to be in that place at the right time so that the blessings can come to you. You can't just think that you're going to sit back and not do anything and you're going to be at the right place at the right time. No, you have to build it up to be at that place. Okay, so that's the number one thing that that I learned was you're always working every single day so that at a drop of a dime, that one person that needs to see you sees you, and then that's when your blessings start to occur. That's when your momentum starts to occur. Okay, but you got to put in that work every single day. You have to be the face of the company. If you're the owner, you're the face of the company. Nobody else, unless you got hundreds of thousands of dollars. You're the face of the company. You put that work in. You learn every single hat that needs to be learned, and you build the business. There is no shortcut. Selling on Amazon, he's just going to take all your money. Jeff Bezos is the richest man in the world for a reason, because he charges so much money to be on there. Own your own customers on the Shopify platform or whatever platform that you want to get into. But that's another video. I'm just telling you the baseline things that you would need as a business owner, and what I focused on. What I recommend for you to focus on is number one, education. Number two, understanding the dynamics of the market that you're in. Number three, the pricing structure of where you need to be. Number four, getting your price down to where you can actually be competitive. Number five, putting in that work on social media marketing, because how else are you going to do it? And you got to do it every single day, not being shy, and you got to get in front of the camera, okay? And you got to be willing to take some losses too along the way on the chin. Don't get, when people give you, I remember back in the day, people would give me negative reviews or comments, and I used to, well, you can't do that as an owner. So luckily at that time when I started getting a lot of reviews, some good, some bad, luckily I was able to pass it off to my staff, like people like Angelie and Crispy. I was able to pass it off to them, and now my business grew even more because we were nice to people. Okay, you can't have an attitude when a customer has an attitude. That doesn't work, because then you're just left with no customers and no repeat customers and no referrals. Because the best way to grow your business is that person to tell that person to tell that person to that person versus paying $30 for an acquisition fee for that person, cost per acquisition $30, $30, $30, $30, hoping that they come back. But it's cheaper for somebody to tell another person about the good experience that they had from the business owner directly. And you got to be relatable. You got to be personal. Man, I could talk all day about this, but I'm just gonna end it there. Those are some of the baseline things as a business owner when you first start. Those are some of the things that you can focus on. And I wish everybody well, and God bless. Thank you all for listening.